Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day today. Before we jump into the video, I just wanted to apologize. I usually put up 2 videos a week, and I know this past week I only put up 1. I'm really sorry, I felt really bad. What happened was, I've mentioned in the past, it depends what videos you've watched of mine, I guess if you know this or not, that I do have some chronic health issues and some chronic pain. And just out of nowhere, things got a little bit bad, so I was just really sick, and I just couldn't handle doing the videos, so I guess it's just something that happens sometimes. So always know, for any reason there's not 2 videos, it's never because I don't want to do it, it's because something happened, and it's probably related to my health. So I have an appointment coming up later this week, so please, I need some well wishes, so if you could give me some, I'd really appreciate that. And I am filming 2 videos today, so that you guys will have 2 this week, this one and another one. So you guys are the best. Thank you so much for understanding. So now let's get into this video. I'm going to talk about some Mandela effects that are on the newer side, but I also wanted to talk about some things regarding the Mandela effect in general. So recently I was having a conversation with my friend. I've known her for a really long time. She's been an excellent friend to me. And she didn't know much about the Mandela effect, but she saw me posting these videos and she got curious. So we were talking about it. And of course I used the Berenstain example, because if someone's new, that's like a really easy example and it helps a lot of people to understand. And we grew up together, so of course she remembers Berenstain, because I remember Berenstain, and we were reading like the same books and stuff. And ironically enough, her husband had a box of books upstairs that his mother had saved for him. So the next day she went up there, and her books, well, her husband's books, had changed from Berenstain to Berenstain, and she could not believe it. Like, she was like, oh my gosh. She was like sold on this whole thing, because it was crazy that her books had changed. And I was a little sad. I was hoping maybe there would be like a survivor, like a Berenstain survivor somewhere in there, but no, there wasn't. They all changed to Berenstain. So then I kind of got to thinking about the past and stuff, and I was telling her, like, when you have to like take a side for a Mandela effect, basically what's in this reality is considered a fact. So when you're saying, no, it hasn't always been this way, it's been this other way, you're challenging a fact. And to challenge a fact, you either have to be really sure or really crazy. And we are not crazy at all. We are really damn sure. That's what we are. And the reason I think that we are so sure about some of these, especially because most of them are older. I mean, there are some new ones, but a lot of the big ones are older, like from the early 2000s or the 90s, 80s, 70s, and whatever, is because I think we used to have a better memory back in the day. And here's why. I think we had a better memory before we got smartphones. I didn't get my first smartphone until about 2009. So I think people had better memories back in like the beginning of the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, or if you're older than me, the 70s, 60s, 50s, however long you've been around. Because now that we have smartphones, we let technology think too much for us, if that makes any type of sense. So this girl has been my best friend forever. And if you asked me right now, what is her cell phone number? I could not tell you, because the phone makes it too easy. I stored it in there, and if I want to talk to her, I just type in like the first letter of her name, it comes up, I hit a button, and suddenly I'm calling her. And I never even have to stare at the number because it's just her name there. But if you wanted me to recite her childhood phone number, the phone number at her mother's residence, I could do that. I know her phone number from 20-something years ago, but I do not know her current phone number memorized. So that's a little crazy. And the same thing, like, there are classmates that I had when I was in grade school and junior high that I do not even speak to anymore. And I have their phone numbers and their addresses memorized. And I think it's because back then we had to write everything down, like in an address book, and then it was a hassle to always look through the address book, especially if it was one of your good friends. So your best friends, you would work to memorize their phone number and address so you wouldn't always have to get that book out and look everything up. And it was the same thing with everything around us. If we really liked a song, we would memorize the lyrics. If we really liked a movie, we would memorize a line, because we couldn't just get everything so easy. It was like, even if like a movie, you really liked it, yeah, eventually it would come out on VHS, but there was like a long wait. It's not like how everything is now. A movie's in the theater and you blink and you can like buy it for your like Apple TV or Amazon TV or whatever. And plus too, it's really easy to kind of change a fact now, because back in the day, facts were in history books and encyclopedias and just these things that took people a lot of time and effort, and they couldn't really be tampered with. And now everything that's a fact is on the internet, and the internet stuff can easily be tampered with. Sorry guys, let me just take a quick drink. I apologize. My throat is like so dry today. So I just think that's why sometimes we cannot like recall what we ate for dinner 3 days ago, but we can like be so sure of these things from 20 years ago that we know that like, no, it has not always been this way. It's been changed. We know it. Even though the internet is saying, no, it's always been one way, we know for a fact in our minds and in our hearts that it was another way. So let me know what you think about that. It's just kind of my own little theory / opinion. But let me know, do you agree with that? Do you think your memory was better before? Or do you think I'm just not on to something? It's just my own thing. So let me know if you've had similar thoughts about this, or if you have any different thoughts. So as far as some recent Mandela effects, I don't want to call them brand new because other people have talked about them on videos or on Facebook. Like I said, I haven't been feeling well, so I couldn't like jump on stuff. But I haven't got to talk about these yet, and there's some ones that like meant something to me. Whenever one means something to me, I like to give my opinion on it. Like if there's ones I don't remember, then I just kind of don't vote on them, if that makes sense. I don't really give my opinion. I'm just going to open my tablet real quick to get this exact information for you guys. So there's a song by Panic at the Disco, I Write Sins Not Tragedies. I believe it came out around 2005, and there's a verse that says, closing the goddamn door. And now it's been changed to closing a goddamn door. So with the to the So this is very similar to the whole Barbie girl thing from the group Aqua, changing the to an So to some people that's no biggie, but to a fan of a song, it is kind of a big deal. And then some people are saying that, oh, when they used to bleep it out on the radio because of the word goddamn, so you really couldn't even hear the / But around that time, Sirius and XM satellite radio were super popular, and I had one in my car. I was in college, and on the satellite radio, they didn't have to bleep out anything, and it was definitely the. I'm telling you, well, that's what I remember at least. So what's actually really interesting about this one, which is why I really wanted to talk about it, even though others have probably talked about it too, is that we actually got a response from the lead singer of the band. So Brendan Urie, people had been tweeting him, like, how did this change? Like, about your song, wasn't it always the? And his answer was, because someone asked him, could he explain it? And he said, ha ha ha, I can't. That's some Berenstain shit right there. So that's crazy that we finally got like a response from someone who did the work and is saying they don't know how their song has changed, because people had emailed Dolly, the girl that had the braces in that movie, and that had a lot of people shaken, and she said that she didn't remember wearing the braces. So that was kind of disappointing, that I guess however the Mandela Effect works, she didn't have the recollection of wearing the braces. So this, and of course we all know Sinbad has zero recollection of Shazam. So this is finally someone that remembers how their project was and remembers it the same way many of us do. And then he made another tweet, and now some people are like, oh, he's retracting his statement. And I did not take it this way at all. These tweets are public, so just you can go ahead and read them and take this any way you want. He said, by the way, there is no answer. I've sung sins both ways. Doesn't matter. Trust me, it's all right. I really think all he meant by that was at concerts, he would sing it sometimes sometimes like at live performances as the years went on, which I could totally understand. When you're singing live and you're all pumped up and there's so many people, how you could like swap out the word easily. I get that, but I think in his original tweet, he was saying that in the official song/video that it was the. So let me know in the comments how you feel about that song and that change and what your opinion is. The next one, this has been around for a little bit, but was not as popular as the other one, is the TV show The Twilight Zone. The creator, to me, had always been named Rod Serling. And now, according to this world that we live in, it's always been Rod Serling. And this one just makes me so mad because I'm like a huge, huge fan. And there's definitely people who agree with me, and there are some that do not. And even though the show originally took place in like the late 50s and early 60s, many consider this to be like a multi-generation show, because every year on New Year's Day, they will air a marathon of The Twilight Zone. And I've always been into scary stuff and sci-fi stuff, and I've always watched that marathon. So that's how I've always seen his name. Like every New Year's Day for, I'm 32 years old, and I've been watching it probably since I was like 7, the marathon. So I was binge watching before there was a thing of called binge watching. So I'd see his name over and over and over again. So like I said, my memory just sees it so clearly. So I think that's what it was. Let me know in the comments, is that something that you agree with? Do you think it's Rod Serling or Rod Serling? The last one I wanted to talk about, people have covered this, but this was just another one that got under my skin because I have my own vivid memories. So Ed McMahon, a lot of people remember him from Star Search, as well as from Publishers Clearinghouse. Unless you're super young, you may not remember him at all, which is totally okay. But supposedly, in this reality that we live in, one of the most popular things he was known for, the Publishers Clearinghouse, he supposedly never did. They're saying he never worked for Publishers Clearinghouse in this reality. Instead, he worked for American Family Publishers. Now, this is the thing. I have vivid memories from being a kid, and not just a little kid, an older kid too, like junior high age. And the envelopes would come in the mail. His face was on the envelopes, and it said Publishers Clearinghouse. My mom would want me to throw them in the trash. My grandmother would want me to keep them because she thought she could like actually win. And I have those memories. I also have the memory of seeing him on television with the balloons and the big check. And then some skeptics are like, oh, you're just confusing it with the other contest. I've never even heard of the other contest until this whole thing came to life. Like, I could understand if something was like about Coke and I confused it with Pepsi, because like I've heard of both sodas. I've never heard of the other contest. So how can I confuse something with something I've never heard of, if that makes any sense? I don't know. So definitely let me know in the comments what you think about that one, if you want to. And if there's some good residual evidence on that one, and if you're interested, there was 2 videos that stood out to me that I've seen that I've really enjoyed. One is by Rabbit Zone, and the other one is by Moneybag73, which if you're into the Mandela Effects, a lot of you probably already know Moneybag73, but I'm just going to link both into the sorry guys, I can't talk. I'm going to link both in the description box just in case. So if you want to go watch those videos next, you can do that. So that's all I have as far as those. I'm actually thinking of maybe taking like a little break from Mandela Effects, and let you guys don't want me to, let me know in the comments, and doing some other types of conspiracy theories, because actually when I first started doing the Mandela Effect, I thought it kind of was a conspiracy theory, but now because I honestly believe like it's something that's happening, to me it's like not a conspiracy theory, and it's something that belongs in its own category. So I've been wanting to do some conspiracy theory videos, so I think that's something I want to try out. So if you have any conspiracy theories that you're really interested in, would like me to start with, you can definitely leave that in the comments. I'll take stuff into consideration. I also finally found some cool editing software that works with my horrible computer, so I was pretty happy about that. I didn't use it on this video or the other one for this week, just because I'm still not feeling 100%, and I wanted to be able to just get this stuff out to you guys because I felt bad that I was behind on videos, but I'm going to start using it probably in the next batch. So there's some cool things that I've had, some ideas that I've had for a while that I've been waiting to have some better editing software before I did them. So there's just some cool things coming up, maybe some cryptozoology stuff, some more alien stuff. So just let me know anything in the comments that you're interested in, and I'll definitely consider it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please give me a thumbs up if you did. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, please consider doing so. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thank you so, so much. You're the best. Bye.